going. We're live. Travis.
Yo.
Welcome to the Salutio Hour of Power. We're live. Are we live?
I believe. Let me double check.
We're live.
Yeah.
We're
live. Yep.
Let me save you.
So these earphones, headphones. Stop it. So they're. Oh man, yeah. This is gonna be tough because for those of you that don't know, Al and I are brothers-in-law, and I spent a lot of time with him in the years that I've been dating and married to his sister. Anyhow, we've grown close, but I've never felt as close to you as when your voice is inside my head, and I don't know that I can.
That's where I like to be. Can we maybe?
I don't know if I can live like this.
This could
man.
be the permanent thing.
Like
I can just have a microphone in my office, and then
I
can be in your head,
off.
Travis.
I think I'm gonna have to take these off. I'm having kind of a freak out. I'm gonna have a freak out.
I can whisper.
All right, let's see if there's any questions.
Well, welcome as always to the Hour of Power. My name is Al Yurok. This is Travis Gear.
Hello.
And we're here to answer any website-related questions or whatever kind of thing. So we work with Salutio. We're a company. If you are viewing from outside of our normal clients, we work with parishes, religious orders, dioceses all around the United States, building websites for them. Helping a lot of people with live streaming lately.
Bam.
And seeing incredible increases in the amount of traffic that we have to our websites. So it's been a crazy, I think the last Hour Power was 59 days ago. But we did two.
We doubled up in
March.
Right.
So there was a lot of stuff going on. And we shot an extra episode just completely separate that was just how to stream. So there were a lot of things. And since forth, then we've upgraded our audio. We've put in a huge green screen. We've done other things.
Yep. So we're coming to you as we have for the past 7 months from Ora et Labora, Catholic Co-working Fellowship, which is something that Al and I are working on with another couple of guys in casting nets.
What an opportune time to launch a co-working fellowship when we have to social distance. So it's like the exact opposite of what people have been doing. They've been not officing together. So it's been that's been interesting.
Right.
But we've been here. We've been doing our thing. We've been working. So we're hoping that people realize that they have need for human interaction.
I think that's
a thing.
For sure.
When the dust settles, this will be something that will be, desired by a lot of folks.
Yeah. That was the social interaction part, just a human interaction part, right? Like, so my wife, your sister, gave birth. Sorry.
Thanks for that.
Gave birth to our sixth child. Oh, that actually reminds me. I have a story for you, but I cannot tell it here right now. All right, no, cannot.
Nobody watches this anyway.
No, absolutely, 100% can't. It would scar my oldest daughter for the rest of her life.
Oh. Can you give a hint?
No,
so that I can remember.
No,
like a keyword.
This has already been traumatic enough that I'm not going to forget. All right, so
I just want a keyword.
Stay on point.
So I know to.
None of them are appropriate. Okay, so my wife gave birth to our sixth child, and so part of the process at St. Joseph Hospital was they, in theory, they wanted her to wear a mask, but they were very quick to say you don't have to. But they did want me to wear a mask the whole time. Right? Yeah, not gonna work. But it was just very interesting, so I talk a lot and I ask a lot of questions.
All the questions,
even in the delivery room, which Maria loves, but to not have so this part of my face was covered, and so were the nurses, and so were the physicians, and everybody that was in the room, anesthesiologist, nurse, anesthetist, everybody. And so it's really hard. I haven't had this experience. There's that element, you don't know who's talking, but there's also the element of when you look at somebody, so much of what's communicated is through our facial expressions, or or whatever. Like, and when you don't see them, and I'm a funny guy, right? I'm a funny guy.
Right. You want reaction.
But some of my humor gets lost, and and so it was just weird. It was very different.
Oh, it's such a crappy time for me personally. Like my hearing is isn't super great, and like if I can't read your lips a little bit to give me a clue of what's going on, I'm screwed.
No, I experienced that as well.
Oh yeah, we're getting a driver's license this morning for my son. Mm-hmm. I mean, words were coming out. I was trying to catch as much as I could.
So they all had masks?
Yeah, pretty much all of the employees did. Yeah. But almost none of the people getting their licenses did. Interesting. There's like one guy. Wow. In the whole thing. It's interesting. I mean, like, I get it probably from a policy perspective, but man, yeah, I mean, like, there is part of us of how we communicate is we read not only emotion, but also, just to actually listen to someone.
Body language.
Is helpful.
Right.
Maybe I just need to be more expressive, like in this age of mask wearing. Well, I guess I don't have to because I'm not wearing one. But for those that are, if you wouldn't mind kind of just using all your limbs.
We may not be socially distant. We are not actually socially distanced right here. No, we got to be 6 feet. And if I touch you to measure it, no, we're not.
Dang, it was a trap. It was a trap.
Everything's a trap.
With me.
Yeah, I know. So anyhow, that was a rabbit hole. But it was interesting. So,
but you got through.
We did.
6 kids.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bam. Cecilia Catherine is her name. Cecilia Catherine Gear. She was
looks good.
21 inches long, 8.4 pounds. I've forgotten all of that information in a month.
Way to know the dad statistics so you can.
1 month. I'll be lucky if I get a birthday right. So I have a calendar. Don't parent shame me. I don't forget the birthdays.
Oh, I guess I can't remember the largest one. I was going to say you can kind of remember the records. Like I remember, like the littlest one was 3 pounds 2 ounces. Well, that way you know it's relative. Like, at least it wasn't as big as
Bob
or whatever. Not that that's any of our kids' names, but you know.
Right. Well, for me, I just remember that they're all 8 pounds or more. So, and then Maria is really glad when they don't breach the 10-pound barrier.
Creepers.
So, we just have big kids.
All right. I'm looking forward to that story.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hear that.
Okay.
All right. So we don't have any questions.
I'll double check.
I don't think.
But currently we do not.
People can go to solutiosoftware.com/power to hear question or to ask questions.
Nope, nothing.
But we ain't got nothing. Nobody has any questions.
Well,
maybe we're not very popular.
We didn't send the reminder out.
Well, we sent a thing.
I know.
A thing.
But usually we send one the day off.
Second one.
But Lori's off today.
That's true.
And neither of us are smart enough.
True. There's enough going on. What have we learned over the last couple of months? Because we've been working furiously on stuff.
Right.
There's been a ton of traffic. So we've had to add a lot of server capacity and change up like some of our caching mechanisms in order to handle the amount of traffic. So that's been a little crazy. But we made it through the other end there. I don't really know of other parishes and how they handle that, or if they, the way that we handle websites is definitely they're a communication engine. So like the front pages of them have lots of the type of information. People seem to be coming back, but I don't know of other website companies because certainly there's been a lot more traffic to all parish websites, I would assume.
Yes,
certainly
across the board.
But so we've had to deal with a lot of traffic, dealt with a lot of streaming services. Big ones are usually YouTube, Facebook Live. We've had some people with Vimeo bought paid accounts.
Yeah.
Found out what some of the limitations of those are.
What would you say has been some of the, besides streaming, have there been any other consistent support requests or things that people wanted to troubleshoot?
There's been some like prayer line stuff. Kind of like putting comment engine on to where people can make prayer requests and for people to get notified.
Okay.
Because again, people just trying to connect
right
while all this is happening. So there's a little bit of that. I think it's just, but I think there's just a lot of general questions. It's just like intensified the normal support queue because everybody is utilizing the site more. So more pictures, more, with alerts, trying to make things stand out more. And quite frankly, I think people have had more time. So they're working from home. They're doing things they're not really normally doing. So they can work on website stuff and do some stuff maybe that's been in their to-do list for a long time. So there's just intensifying the normal thing. It'll be interesting to see how the summer, usually for the summer is busy for us. Schools are out and some of those projects get done, but I think some of those projects are already done. So I don't know that we're going to have the normal summer.
Well, it may end up being a little more geographically based, right? Like we'll see how different states handle it. But so like, for example, WSU, I saw just Wichita State University yesterday or the day before announced that all their classes will go online after Thanksgiving. So they're already planning to have no in-person classes after Thanksgiving.
But they'll have in-person classes beforehand.
Yeah, right. But my point is that
fall comes, flu season,
as well as schools in particular.
How do they do the spring season? Because most of it's in the winter.
Yeah, I don't know when they'll start to reopen. I didn't see or I didn't address that. But my thought is like we may see as a company, we may see more of an uptick in certain requests for being able to facilitate. So when all this shut down, there was like a week. We had a week, and everybody scrambled. At least in our diocese, I think they did a pretty good job at the times they had.
Yeah.
But now they're planning out ahead. So the Diocese of Wichita has a task force, a reentry task force into the school year that's already starting to think through all of this stuff and making game plans. So some of those things
most
may
of it
come
will
back
be thrown
to
away.
Us. What do you mean?
Well, there's lots of scenarios. Only one's going to happen.
Right.
So most of the plans that get made, whatever that is, which you don't know, this is why you got to create all the other contingencies.
But so something like I think you're right. A number of things have been done ahead of time compared to when they normally would be because people had all this time to think about it and then put time into it because they canceled every other ministry that was available for the most part. But we may see some of that stuff come back around in a different format this mid-summer to late summer as they get ready for school. Because the other thing, and this is actually where I'll be curious to see what we see from parishes. We always think about the schools, I think in particular, because we're in the Diocese of Wichita. And for those that don't know, we have a very large, relative to our size, large Catholic school system. But the religious education program is, those still...
Oh, those were canceled wholesale as well.
Right. But they got to go on. I mean, they need to go on.
Well, people aren't even going to Mass.
Right. But we're streaming Mass.
But we are streaming Mass.
But I don't know what anybody's doing for religious education programs. I know that in my parish, they sent home curriculum guides with all the kids, and then they asked the parents to do it at home.
Here's my thing a little bit around some of that is that, using the tool for what it's been designed for. So Travis and I are involved in an organization called Engaged Encounter.
Oh, yeah.
So Engaged
I belittled Al on a national stage. Well, a regional stage.
National leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but
with a lot of people.
But I was only with my district, which we were, 11 people that represent a fairly large swath of the country. And I belittled that.
Which I'm totally cool with because I think it's pretty accurate. So the Engage Encounter format. So there's Al's opinion, not an official opinion of anybody on the national board that may or may not be here. Is like.
Don't you put that on me? Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby?
It's a program designed to where the presenting couple, they read the different stories from their lives, and then the couples that have time to reflect and write on that, and then they go and they look at each other's writings and stuff like that and talk about some of these different issues. So a great program. I think it really helps couples develop a lot of important skills before they get married and talk through a lot of important issues. So we definitely, both Travis and I are very involved and believe in good, solid marriage prep. The the format though. So it's just strictly talking about the format is a couple reading, which is already hard for folks when they're sitting in the chairs and you're reading. That's not really like giving a talk, and so that's already difficult. I think over Zoom, I don't know. Maybe people had success, but like basically, it's not been designed for that.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not part of its DNA.
Right.
So there have to be some serious adjustments versus other types of marriage prep programs that's in their DNA. It's what they've been designed to do.
Well, sure, they were built to be online.
They were built to be online.
Right.
They've got feedback. They've got, like in an equation like that, you're going to need more like guided questions in a different way. You're going to need follow-up maybe with a connection with maybe a Zoom meeting to like talk through deeper questions or having a priest facilitate that. But
Sure.
like the programs themselves have thought through all of those issues versus shoehorning something else. So my zoomed out point, and I'm sure you'll refute probably some of the engagement counter stuff, but is that like we really have to take a look at religious education programs, and it's not about I don't think it's about shoehorning something else. And I realize the desperation, but we have a summer to think through it. So how do we integrate in like formed? Okay, so for those that don't know, formed can be purchased for a very affordable price. I think last time I checked, it was around like $120 for an entire parish. So they subscribed and they get like a subscription code. Parishioners click on that, and then there's different programming there. So that works into the equation. We need to start thinking through this. My kids are homeschooled. We do some of their stuff. There's different curriculum that Teresa, my wife, will work through with them. Other things is like Khan Academy, which is designed to be online and will like take them through concepts, take them through videos, test them, take them back through the concepts, randomly test them later on about those same concepts, and like codify that information. It does it very well, and again, because it's been designed in that way.
Right.
So, how we handle religious education, I'm not a distance learning expert, but I think we need to look to other examples possibly and how that's done, as opposed to this is what we've always done, so this is the closest thing to the thing that we've always done because the world's upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, right. One of the things about Engage Encounter that's unique for us in our diocese, and actually we do have a question that we can get to.
All right.
But is that, so in the Diocese of Wichita, and actually I was talking to Father Kilcawley about this earlier this morning, so he's in the Diocese of Lincoln. In our two dioceses, it's required, right?
Well, it's not required.
What?
No. I mean, it's de facto kind of required because everybody does it.
Okay.
But it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not.
I guess so. Okay. Well,
it's like strongly recommended.
Okay.
It's like wearing a mask.
Okay.
It
doesn't seem like. All right. Anyways. Okay. That's fine. So the point would be, okay. Well, yeah. That people come because they're told to come, not because they want to come.
Right.
Now, some people want to come to our weekends,
but
absolutely people come because they're told to come.
Yeah.
Versus in a lot of other communities, for Engage Encounter specifically across the country,
they're trying to attract them.
Right. They choose to come.
Right.
And so that makes some of those, like for us, I think in our position in Wichita, we look at like, oh my gosh, how would we keep these people engaged when they're coming here because they're being told to? Versus other people who are choosing to come would actually actively choose. I think your premise is still holds in most ways, but that is one thing that's different about Wichita and Lincoln versus other places with Engage Encounter specifically. I guess my hope would be like with the religious education stuff is that, I mean, I'm still holding out hope that this is not the new normal, that social distancing doesn't have to be the way of life for the rest of eternity.
Right.
And so you have to make a calculation on, okay, well, how much time do we invest in trying to come up with new ways? Because if this is the new normal forever and ever, amen, as a popular country singer once said, then yeah, we need to come up. It's got to all be new and rethought. But
I don't think Christianity lives in a bubble, in a safe bubble, in a 6-foot plastic bubble.
Well, I mean, no.
I mean, like, that's not how I was evangelized. It's not how you were evangelized. Like,
Sure.
like it was from the close, intimate relationships, and you can't have that from over here, Travis. Jesus loves you. He wants to have a relationship.
Now we're getting the real Al, everybody.
Like, that's not.
I agree.
Like, that can't be how. I don't think
My only point.
Christianity will be transmitted very well that way.
My only point is that, yeah, I don't, for the short term, which I do hope is what this is, like, I don't want people to have to spend weeks and weeks and weeks trying to come up with a whole new religious ed structure when
in 2 months, then it's going to
Right.
go back to normal.
Right.
No. Right. What are you doing in the interim? Well, the same thing is like with streaming mass. Like,
Yes, right. Although I would say that I'm cool with that staying.
Like ongoing,
That should
sure.
stay, right?
yeah, because there's always going to be people that
Right.
have to stay home, and I've seen different parishes do on our websites. They've done different things like audio recordings of homilies. We've done forever, but other parishes, yeah, they do the entire mass. They stream that way. Some, like St. Robert's in Omaha, as always, they've streamed it for, better part of a
yeah, right.
decade. They've had streaming services, and that stuff's a lot cheaper than it used to be. Well, I think for our parish, what we're planning on doing, actually, this is probably a good tip. Like, a lot of parishes have security cameras, even at St. Joe's. When I was thinking,
In Andale, yeah.
there's all kinds of like codecs and things to like addresses to get and route that through.
Mm-hmm.
Where in all reality, we should just use the same things that game streamers use, like playing an Xbox, is a capture card. Just get a capture card. They're about $100, maybe less. They plug in via USB. Basically, if you can display it on a monitor, right? So for Colwich, we can display ours on in the gathering space, and so instead of plugging that into the TV, plug it into a capture card box, because they can make external. They have internal ones. They have external ones.
Okay.
But just get an external one, plug it into a laptop. So probably what we're going to do at the end of the day, because those also have the audio for Colwich, because that's the overflow space.
Sure, right.
So it's got great audio from the microphones. So, and it actually goes back into the utility room. So Father, what he can do is throw his laptop in there, throw the capture card in, hit the stream button,
There you go.
and then come back after Mass and stop it. So I think that might be a good solution for a lot of folks that might already have some of the camera and
Audio.
equipment
Right.
that's already there. You don't have to because there's a very there's the approach where it's like very pure, and it's like a digital stream from the camera device, and it's right in digitally encoded, or you just capture what's already there, and it's got the same. I mean, people don't know on the other end.
Yeah.
I guess it's not as pure,
Sure.
but it's just as good.
Yeah, I get it.
So capture cards, I don't
Cool.
necessarily have any specific recommendations, but like your run-of-the-mill Fortnite YouTube streamer uses these things to stream from their PlayStation or Xbox, and then they do what we're doing with OBS Studio and kind of match them up and stuff like that. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You could probably go right from a capture card right into YouTube.com into their studio.
That's cool.
Anyway, something to think about.
Yeah. No, I dig it. Especially because I think it's going to be ongoing. Okay, so this is a question from Dan Donlin at St. Mary's in Barnegat, New Jersey.
All right.
So,
Way out east.
and this is like real time, Dan. I appreciate this. So he says, congrats on the newborn, Travis. I see in lieu of cigars, you took away the clear cash button.
Clear cash.
Up on the top of on the top of the administrator, you'll notice, if assuming you're a Salutio client, that for most of you, you no longer have the button at the top that says you have to clear that. You click here to clear the cache.
Like up there. Yeah, it'd be like right up here in this area.
Very funny, Dan.
That is funny.
That's funny. I take it you didn't always like that.
Well, traffic was so bad.
There is more, by the way. That wasn't the whole thing. All right. But go
It
ahead.
was
Not bad.
It was
So it's a high volume.
Such a high volume. Well,
Which isn't bad. That's awesome.
Our poor servers, they were hurting. So they cache allows, basically, instead of generating your homepage every time or whatever page it was, it kind of stores kind of a set copy based on the generated page, and it keeps that live for a little while. And so like it would recache every 5 minutes or so. But
Yeah.
but for somebody that was editing the website and putting up new articles, well, they wanted to see immediately
Right.
what did the page look like, and so you had to clear the cache. I think we got a note today from Andy that we've disabled that,
Yep.
and I think all the sites during the week, and then there's a few view clients that have a lot of traffic yet that I think it'll probably be
On the weekends.
on the weekends. Yep. So
Okay, so here's this question.
All right.
The control panel looks like it has some new buttons on the bottom.
oh.
Is this new, or has quarantine just gotten the best of me?
So if I scroll down, and I actually probably have even more. It depends a little bit upon your access levels. And gosh,
I'll bring up St. Mary's if you want me to.
I was going to say I'd almost have to.
Log in.
Oh, you want to so I can just look at your screen?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, there's a lot out there over time. Usually when we do a redesign, that's probably St. Mary's. They got a new.
Yeah, they have a redesign here
Yeah.
not too long ago.
When we went through with the redesign, we kind of go through and normalize you with all the other clients. So there's a lot of buttons down there at the bottom. All of those things, by the way, yeah. The thing is you're logged in as Salutio, so you have a higher level
I know.
of access.
I was gonna pull up his user profile and
Oh.
see if that would tell you.
I don't. It'll tell you what level of access he has, but you're going to have even more buttons. And so what you see on the screen here, this is even more buttons than probably most of you have. But most people will have, if I could get my mouse back, the main 5: document manager, article manager, need help. A couple things for images. Sometimes there'll be like a image or like a photo gallery button. Actually, no, we got the photo gallery. There's another one in there sometimes, but. Basically, there were some things that we felt we wanted to make it a little bit easier. So probably this administrators button, like the user manager, form results, menu manager, category manager, module manager, checking all items, request help in Google Analytics. I think this is a pretty standard set now. And these other ones, these are only for Salutio administrators. So we have access to like change up what's on the control panel and various other things. Redirects, this could be on some people's sites. This is kind of, it's not a new tool, but it allows us to create like a custom URL for a particular event or something like that. So a lot of long story short, all of these things were still available. We just created kind of shortcuts to get to them. But if you go underneath system, users, menus, content, all of these things were still there. So the module manager, for instance, is probably one of the buttons that you're seeing now, Dan, right?
Yep. Dan Donlan. Yep.
That you're seeing, but it was underneath extensions and modules. So all of those components were still available. It's just now they're in a little bit easier place to get to. Some of these, I guess with the exception of like form results, if you have some Google Forms, this just points to Google Drive, items that are shared with you, and various other items. So no, Dan. So it was a little bit between Dan. Is in one sense. We did probably do it here and over the whole COVID thing, but it was just a coincidence that you also got the redesign, and that's kind of when we.
I'm trying to remember when
we go through and we just kind of make sure that you've got all the new things that we've been playing around with.
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember when they redesigned?
I don't remember.
All right.
So many projects. I can take a look real quick.
No. Hopefully that answers your question, too.
Yeah. So it's not just you. You're not just imagining things.
But if you have questions about what some of them do,
yeah,
let us know.
We have complete control to kind of modify that, because other things we'll do sometimes, like if you have a special module, like we'll create a button that goes right to that. Like sometimes, like for a slideshow, for instance, a rotator, and you want to just go right to that. We can create a button that goes to that. So it's just it's really about an ease of use thing, like to get you to the right spot quickly. Because everybody's a little different, and you might have different components than somebody else has, so you wouldn't necessarily need all the same buttons. But that generally that row a little bit lower has some additional shortcuts. So, and like for instance, like probably when we were actually, I don't have it on here. I have because it's not Google Analytics. It's like site statistics. But again, this control panel might be a little bit older. That was a tool that we added, say, about a year ago, maybe not even that, maybe 6 to 9 months ago, that allows you to see a simplified version of your stats that you can share with other people, and you don't need to even log in. But that button was added.
I bet it was more than 6 months ago.
I'm just trying to think when I've been working on a lot of the CASA projects, but I guess I did CASA I did SBS
and then CASA.
Yep. And CASA started up probably 6 months ago, so probably 9 months to a year ago.
Cool.
We're always updating those things. That's the thing. None of this stands still. Got to keep moving. Got to keep improving. Today's designs, today's functionality will be looked upon with disgust sometimes. It's kind of crazy how fast things move along. But that's why, I think the model that we generally work with, so many of our clients work with an advertising model to where basically there's revenue there for us to go back and redesign every 3, 4, 5 years. And I think that's kind of what's recommended. There was a school here in Kansas, I think it was Newman, and on their board, like their
Newman
University, their one of their policies around this was they were going to do this was like probably, this could have been close to 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I remember somebody on the, had heard from the board of kind of like how does their design process happen? And every 3 years, and I don't know if they've kept that, but that was their policy. Every 3 years they'd have a redesign of the website.
Oh, wow.
And that's part of a little bit of the genesis of that idea of like, we need to continue to, renew and stuff like that.
I haven't been on their site for a long time, but it's definitely.
It's new.
It is new.
Probably since the last time you saw it. So every 3 years, again, I don't know that's what their policy is, but it was like, no, it's totally true. If this is an important thing, like, it's a lot of distance. A lot can change design-wise in 3 years, what people expect. So, anyway.
Cool. We are still sharing out your screen. Not sure
are.
if you care or not. You should.
I care.
That's what I'm here for.
I care a lot, Travis.
I care a lot. We care a lot.
I care too much.
Man, I just sang a Care Bears lyric. It must be the end of the month on a Friday. Is this whiskey? It's not whiskey.
Not yet.
All right.
Give ourselves about an hour.
He's just kidding. He's just kidding. He's just totally kidding. I don't think we have any more questions.
Yeah, that's all right.
But we somehow managed to chew up 40 minutes of time.
Boom.
Damn, we're good.
Boom. Well, we just haven't heard ourselves talk like this for a long time.
Yeah, right. So. You inside my head.
Yeah. Man, anytime. You just want to come into the studio?
No.
And we can just like hang out here with a beer?
No.
And
I don't think so.
That way I can have very dramatic effects by whispering.
So uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. Stop. All right.
Do we get any other comments or just
Well, one of the downsides I would say to doing it on YouTube is we don't get the comments the same way we did on Facebook. But I think overall,
do we get comments or questions from Dan?
That came through the Jot form.
Oh, it did.
Yep. So that came through the Hour of Power page where you can click Ask Your Question, and
we probably need to just have a post that points to the YouTube thingy.
Oh, you mean just bring them to the YouTube page and not embed the video?
Put a post on Facebook that has a link to to
That's
to
true.
This thing.
Because
I set up the event ahead of time. And that can work.
Yeah. Cool. I dig it. All right. Well,
I think that does it for this Salutio Hour of Power. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back next month. I think we just need to figure out set a schedule. Otherwise, it's going to be at the end of the month. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah. No, that's good. I agree.
So we'll be back next month. Have any questions, let us know. This is free to listen to, free to ask questions for any of the pay-for clients that we have. Otherwise,
free humor. We're very funny.
And full of opinions. If you have a question, other folks might have that same one. So please send it in. Quench your curiosity here at the Hour of Power.
Yes. All right. Very good.
All right. We'll see you next month.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.